Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good week so far. I want to address the changes that are coming to this channel and why I'm making them. I was looking at other YouTube channels related to audio engineering and I noticed a trend. And it was a trend I didn't like. And it was a trend that I was a part of, for a little bit. I'll just tell it like this. Before I remove the email from the About page on this channel, I would probably get at least one or two emails a day from different companies asking if I would like to review something. It was mostly like Chinese, like kind of cheap products that from brands I'm not familiar with. So I usually ignore them. Sometimes it's plug-in companies, and I don't. I usually actually am receptive to those, but it got to a point over the summer where I was just like, I felt like I was overwhelmed with requests. Okay, and it's ironic because if back in 2011 I had this happening, I would just be like so excited. But unfortunately, right now, I don't have the time. I was asked to, review a very nice product. It was sent to me unsolicited, and I will eventually get around to doing that this month. But like I said, I just don't have the time to do it. I'm overwhelmed from all angles at this point. Okay, so what I've decided to do is combine the most popular videos on the channel, which are like beginner tutorials, with the new products, because I understand people like to research new products. Should they buy them? You got to understand, like, people who've been around for years, I always say, don't bother. If you're happy with the software that you have, if you're happy with the microphones you have, don't buy anything new. There's no point. But if you're new, which a lot of people are, you do have to make choices on which tools to buy. So I understand that, and new products and beginner tutorials are the most popular videos on this channel. So I'm going to be combining those because the idea is that, you know, yeah, I can review stuff, and I'm going to review stuff, and I'm going to review stuff without getting, they're called not for resale licenses, which means you get the license to use them for free, you just can't sell them. So there's, I don't know legally what, I guess legally there's less value for it, or there's no value for it because of that reason. But anyway, I felt like it it does bias you when you're sent licenses. Like, even though I try my best to be honest, there is always that bias, like, yeah, the company just sent me free stuff. So I want to remain as in, I want to have the integrity like that I did before this channel became somewhat popular. Um, that's the bottom line. And I also want to teach people how to use these tools and what they sound like, because that's really the three main elements of, is this product worth buying? And like I said, and I maybe will preface it every video, if you already have the software that you're happy with, don't bother. I know people that buy every single reverb plugin, and I just roll my eyes at these people. Delay plugins, same thing. EQ, I admit it, I am an EQ sleut, but I'm happy with all the EQs I have now. I'm not getting any more. I'm happy with the reverbs. So if anything, if I do any reviews, it will be with demos. If there are no demos available, then I'm not going to do that. Hardware, I simply don't have the time to do it. I would rather not do any hardware reviews than disappoint you guys with a mediocre review, or disappoint the companies with not having enough samples or something. I've always said to you guys, if I had like a full band that was like readily available at the drop of a hat to record and then use, in the case of hardware, record or mix or whatever, then that would be the ideal conditions. And unfortunately, I don't have the ideal conditions. It just takes forever to schedule musicians. I'm doing it for free. I'm recording and mixing for free and still struggling to find local musicians to do that. And that's actually why I had to start, working on things outside of where I live, just simply because the business isn't there, and that's fine. And I told you guys, audio engineering is not my primary income. I do more photography and video. That's where the money comes in. And unfortunately, when you're not behind the camera, your stuff doesn't look as good as it possibly can. And that's another thing that bothers me about this channel, is that like I can't even adjust the camera where I want it because I'm not behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if my audio levels are good. I mean, I try my best. I record. It's like whenever I set up the fancy camera, it takes like a good 20 minutes to set up everything, just for the simple fact that I had to adjust the camera like 5 different times. So I had to do this and then put the microphone on and get the levels. Now, usually what I'll do is I'll put the microphone on near where I can see it on the LCD screen and get the levels there, but it's never always perfect. Anyway, thanks. I want to thank you all for watching Real Home Recording, sticking with me all these years. Like I said, I just want to move in a different direction for time reasons and just integrity reasons. And, you know, look, all the other channels out there who are taking the NFRs, I think they're still pretty honest. They're you know, for the most part, but there's times where I look at the videos and I'm like, you guys are kissing ass. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to be an ass kisser. I never was. And I just feel like, you know, you guys made this channel. You guys made this channel, and I want to give it back to you. And just, I'm finished. I'm finished with, like, the free, you know, just, I want my integrity back 100%, you know. So I'm a reliable, trustable source of information when it comes to audio engineering. And also, I want to leave on one other note. Or maybe I'll do this on another video, but I'll just briefly say it here. People will always be looking for people who've already done work, no matter if they've already, let's say, you know, mixed rock music, but if they never mix rap music or they have no samples of it, they're gonna skip you. That's unfortunately the reality of today's society, is that they, you know, if you haven't done product photography, doesn't matter how good your portraits are. You know, so if you're building your portfolio, if you're in that stage of your career, I say think of all the different things you can take photos of if you're doing photography. Think of all the different videos you can do if you do video. Think of all the different audio music genres you can do, and mix those. You know, so anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I held the camera stable enough, and I hope I held it where it wasn't tilting, because it does kind of look like it was tilted. It's another thing. Usually when you're shooting video, it's on a tripod and you have a little bubble level. Can't do that handheld or when I'm doing it like this. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.